Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Extra Time, the U.S. Men's National Team Soccer Podcast. I'm Tim, and on this episode, we're talking about the 5 must-dos for the U.S. Men's National Team to have World Cup success. There are 5 days remaining until the United States is going to kick off. Today's actually one of those days. So we got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Today would make 5. So, because in 5 days left, we're going to be 5 must-dos. What does the United States men's national team have to do to be successful? We're going to break all those things down. That is coming up. Let's get into it. So with just 5 days remaining before the United States kicks off the 2026 World Cup in its opening match against Paraguay, I thought, let's think about what are the top 5 things that this men's team has to do in order to guarantee success and put themselves up for the best possible run that they could make in the World Cup. In order for the United States men to be successful in the World Cup, the absolute first thing that we need to do, and it's not going to surprise very many people, we have to win that opening game against Paraguay. The United States national team has to come out with pace, determination, purpose, okay? This game stands for so many things. First, in the World Cup, everyone knows winning the opening match in the group stage almost always guarantees your ability to get out. Now, it ensured that you were going to get out of the group before. There was like a ridiculous percentage of chance that you would get out if you won your opening game. With this World Cup, it's statistically almost impossible, I'm guessing, after you win your opening game for you to not make it out. But that's not a good reason to just say, hey, we don't really have to do this thing, right? One, it's the opening match. You are the host nation. You're playing on home soil. We have to get the crowd behind it. Pochettino and the boys, they need to get the fans in. There's been a lot of negativity around ticket prices, around getting fans there, around results, around everything. We have to go in with a decisive win. We have to just kind of shut up all the extra noise, and we have to turn the negative noise into positive noise. We got to make it loud. We got to make it exciting. Okay, that is something that absolutely has to happen, and it needs to be done in this opening game against Paraguay. The other reason we got to beat Paraguay, this is the team that we struggled against and ultimately caused our downfall in the Copa America, which wound up with Greg Berhalter getting sacked, right? The United States men's national team was kind of on this up and up. Like, we had lost to the Netherlands, but like, here we come again. We're getting invited to this tournament. We know we're going to be hosting it, and it's like, okay, we have to do something big. Timothy Weah loses his composure. Balogun gets us right back. They strike again, and it is what it is. You're going up against that exact same team. We have to send a message. We have to be decisive, and we have to win that opening game. Carry the momentum going into this group stage, right? Score goals. Get that confidence. Get the rust out. Get all of that anxiety and all that nervous energy out and just go out there, play hard, and win. If the United States can win this opening game decisively, that is step number 1 to their path to success. Now, if you've done the math on the groups, and if you've done the math on the bracket, and we've talked about it, and everybody else has talked about it, the next most important thing is not going to be a surprise, which is that not only does the United States have to win the opening game, the United States has to top their group. If we don't finish atop Group D, our chances of making a deep run in this tournament get significantly harder. Now, do I think it's a likelihood that the United States finishes in third in their group? No, I don't think it's a likelihood, but it's the World Cup and anything can happen. We are playing against quality teams. There could be bad bounces. There could be bad fouls. We could just get unlucky. Concede a penalty kick, hit the crossbar a couple times. All of a sudden, you're drawing Turkey, you're drawing Paraguay, you get a win against Australia, and then all of a sudden, like, you're in a weird second place spot. Maybe you get a loss against a Turkey. You beat Australia, you tie Paraguay, something like that, and all of a sudden you're looking at 4 points, and maybe you're not the second team in the group. Maybe you're in third. The United States has to top the group. It's going to build off of that momentum, and it's going to do two things. One, it puts us mathematically in the best pathway forward to the teams that we're going to play against. The next thing that it does for us is if we win our group, that means we're going to have won all 3 matches, hopefully, which means we're going to have scored goals in those matches, which means we're going to have confidence. We need that confidence. We need that momentum. We need to get the stadiums packed, the fans behind us, the media behind us, and we need to just be able to take that big, deep breath going into that third game, play our game, score goals, and win. I think it's going to be super important for the United States as a host nation to send that message, because for the first time in a World Cup, this is the expectation. In the previous World Cups, where the United States was in the group of death or not in the group of death, we always had very difficult groups. It was only the top 2 teams that were going to go through, and the FIFA rankings were always significantly closer. We were always that third man in, right? It's going to be different. I shouldn't say it's going to be different. It is different for the United States this time, because this is the first time that not only are we favored to get out of our group, we're favored to win our group. And we're favored to win our group pretty handedly. Now, does that mean that everybody feels this way? No. There's a lot of people who believe Turkey is the best team in this group and that they're going to do this. I disagree, and I disagree solely on the fact that Turkey didn't just flat out qualify, and they had to go through their qualification stages and win kind of like the playoff matches to get in. So, would the United States have been in that boat if we had played against a quality of teams of Turkey? Maybe, but we didn't, and I think we've put up good enough results in the matches that we've had to play. So, first thing, we have to win that opening game against Paraguay. The second thing, we absolutely have to come out on top of our group. Now, if you've been following the men's national team, or you're coming up on being a fan, there are going to be names on this team that you know. And we know that in big moments, big names step up, right? And Captain America with Christian Pulisic, that's what everybody's going to be talking about. We know that we're going to have to see big games from him. But in addition to Christian, all of our big name players have to step up. This cannot be a World Cup where we're expecting just 1 or 2 players to put the team on their shoulders and carry them. Does Christian have to have, a fantastic tournament? Absolutely. So does Valerian Balogun. So does Weston McKennie. So does Tyler Adams. So does either Matt Freese or Matt Turner, right? So does Anthony Robinson. So does Tim Ream. This needs to be a World Cup where big name players step up and we make a name for ourselves. We are not going to win and make a deep run in this tournament if we are relying on just 1 or 2 players to do this. If we're just relying on Balogun to score goals and Christian to generate opportunities, it's only going to get us so far. We need the entire team to come in, the entire team to generate chances, and the entire team to make these moments happen, right? The more players you have on your team that are able to step up, the more space there is on the field. And that plays into the United States' strengths, right? I know from being somebody who played in the midfield, if you could shoot and score goals and you would test the keeper from deep, what would that do? That would force the defenders to press to you. And if the defenders were pressing to you, that opened up space in behind. So the same thing with Balogun. If Balogun can be dangerous up front and draw other defenders, that opens up space in the midfield for us. If Christian can be dangerous cutting in, that opens space up for Robinson. If Dest can be dangerous cutting in, right, that might open space for a Freeman. These are the things that we have to have. We cannot get in this slump where after the group stage or after the first couple of games, we're sitting here going, man, Christian's really got to step up, because it's going to have to be everybody around him making all of those things happen. We cannot be relying on just 1 or 2 players. We need the team to step up. All right, the number 4, absolute must for this United States men's team to be successful. We cannot lose our composure. We had an opportunity to make a real impact in the Copa America, instead allowing Canada to be that team in CONCACAF to represent. All because we got frustrated, we let a team play its style of soccer against us, and we lost our composure. We saw it a little bit in the Germany game. One thing that you know about the United States is that we like to fight. We stick up for each other. We have that American mentality. We like to get in little scruffs, and we like to throw hands a little bit and rough some guys up, right? there are teams that are going to be, there are teams that are going to be playing against us that are banking on that. They're going to be coming out after us. They're going to be trying to get under our skin. They're going to try to make the game chippy, right? And those are all going to be in the group stage and the knockout games, right? You can't lose your composure in a game where that's the other team's only way out. If we get caught up in a Paraguay game again, in that opening game, and we lose our composure, we're giving the game into Paraguay's hands, right? That might be the only out that they have. In that round of the round of 32 game, it doesn't matter if it's a Canada who we've played against a bunch of times or another third place team or whoever it might be. Their strategy might be, look, the only way we could possibly win this game is if we get a little chippy, we get under their skin, we see if the referee's going to let us play, we pack the box, we try to counterattack. If we get a senseless foul, if we get a senseless card, if we get a guy ejected, right? Those are things that can completely ruin the tournament, like just on a dime, right? You cannot have a red card. We cannot give away senseless free kicks and pointless. We saw it in the Germany game. Giving away a foul in a dangerous position really early on in the game before the team has had a chance to get into the game. Before we've had a chance to kind of move the ball around, right? And what does Germany do? They strike. What happens immediately after? We find ourselves, we get into the game, we start generating corner kicks, and eventually we get a goal. Well, imagine if you just hadn't given away that free kick. Now you're going into halftime against Germany up 1-0. Maybe Germany scores in the second half, we tie 1-1, and then we're really, really ecstatic about this, right? It was nice to see everybody getting excited after the Germany game, but the takeaway is that we cannot have these senseless fouls and these senseless free kicks. We saw it in the previous World Cup with Walker Zimmerman drawing that penalty kick and Gareth Bale scoring to tie it. We were going to beat Wales. Now we're tying them, right? It's moments like that that we have to avoid, and if the men can avoid it, it sets them up for success to make a very deep run in this tournament. Okay, that brings us to the very last thing. Point number 5. With 5 days to go, the fifth most important thing that the United States men's national team has to do in order to have success for a deep run in this World Cup. We must control the midfield. This is where our strength is as a team. We love building, we love possession. Whether we've won or lost games, we have outpossessed the teams that we've played against. The more that we can possess the ball, the more opportunities that we can generate, the more chances that we're going to get. The other benefit to possessing the ball is that's the less that our defense is going to be under pressure. We know that we are lacking in center back. And if we're lacking in the center back position, every team that plays against us is going to know that too. Teams that are going to play a mid block, teams that are going to play a low block, that are going to be looking for us to try to overpossess, to try to take a risky pass, to try to stretch something, and then go on the counterattack. We have to possess the ball and control the midfield, both offensively and defensively. Controlling doesn't just mean we have to have the ball. Our shape has to dictate the pace of the game and has to dictate the way the game plays. If you know they're in a mid-block and they're trying to strip you and come on the counter really quick, then the way that we control the midfield and possess it has to change. Controlling the midfield allows us to build better out of the back. If Matt Turner's the goalie, we know he's weaker with his feet. It allows him more space and more time. We're not going to wind up with that high block with the other team coming at us, and then, our goalie or our defense makes some mistakes. If the other team comes at us with a high block, and they're putting, I shouldn't say high block, high press, then we need to have the ability to control the midfield in a manner where we can just knock the ball around them and go. So controlling the midfield, that is our strength. That's the one thing that the men's national team has been really, really, really good at. It opens up the strike force. It alleviates pressure off our defenders. We have some of the best midfielders in the world. I know, not everybody's going to agree with me, but that's my take. We have some of the best midfielders in the world. We also are really lacking in the center defensive midfield position. So controlling the midfield and having it be in our flow and not having to throw crazy challenges or tackles or, we don't need Tyler Adams trying to stretch for something. We don't need him getting hurt. We have to be able to control the midfield in a manner that allows us to be successful. Okay? Those are my top 5 musts for this U.S. men's national team to see and have success in this World Cup. If we can do these 5 things, we can win our group. We can beat Paraguay in the opening game. We can win our group. We can win that round of 32, and we can put ourselves in a great position for us to beat a team like Belgium and then even put up a solid attempt or result against a team in the quarterfinal and potentially make a semifinal. Okay? So those are things that we have to do. Now, it's going to be a we in a second. There's going to be a lot of content coming on this channel all through the World Cup and exclusively this week because we are building into it. Tomorrow, we're going to have a very, very special podcast, or later today, if you're watching this video in the morning. We're going to get it. We got a special group of people coming in. We're going to have a real long discussion. We're going to break everything down. I am very excited to do it. Former guests, special guests, it's all coming up. We're going to break it up. We're going to have content all week as we get ready for the United States to take on Paraguay on Friday. All right, the World Cup is upon us. Get your gear, get your stuff. I got keychains. I got more stuff. I got this crazy thing from Costco here. I got my stuffed animal collection. My dog thinks it's his, right? You can get yours if you go to Costco. FIFA World Cup 2026. They got one for each of the host nations. It's pretty sweet. But that is going to do it. We are going to catch everybody tomorrow as we get the gang back together for a big podcast episode breaking down everything that you're going to need to know about the World Cup. We will see you guys then. Let's go red, white, and blue.